Hi. I want to make sure I'm set up okay here. Hi friends, I hope you are doing well. Happy Wednesday. I want to say hey to anyone from my team that is on here or hops on. When you hop on, please say hello. And I would love if you would tell me your comfort level when it comes to stories. Instagram, Facebook stories, the things that are up at the top that you see, 1 being never have I ever, and 5 being I'm rocking them, I'm doing them daily, and I love them. So if you could drop down a 1 through 5, how comfortable you are with stories and posting in stories and selling in stories. So my name is Emily. If I have not met you in person, hello, welcome. I am coming to you live from Franklin, Tennessee, which is about 20 miles south of downtown Nashville. If you've ever been here for a bachelorette party, because it feels like the whole world has, you probably know where that is. But next time you're in the Nashville area, tell me, and I'd love to say hey and maybe grab a coffee or something with you. So I hope that you're doing well, ready for the holidays. I've got my holiday earrings on today. I'm going to talk about stories because, guys, going into 2024, hello, Elise. Going into 2024, we are looking at an incredible opportunity to be present on social media and use it to our advantage. Is it always easy? It's not. We know that this business can be tough. It can be competitive. And how are we going to continue to get our word out? Now, as I'm saying this, I am in no way discrediting those who do primarily their business in person. I'm not discrediting the power of in-person sales at all. However, I'm using what I have as my experience, and I have what has worked for me and what I have found to grow my business and to reach audiences that I have would never have been able to do in person because they live across the country. And I'm doing that through the power of social media and sales. Now, if you are not on Instagram, I encourage you to just make an account. Okay, link it to your Facebook. If you do most of your network marketing sales in Facebook and that's your comfort level, I understand that, and that was me too. I also don't really love to mix, I'm sorry, my eyes water, I have allergies, I'm not crying, I promise. I don't love to mix business and pleasure where I don't always put everything on my personal Facebook page. And if you guys have been using Facebook for a while now, you can probably see the algorithms are really tricky and really tough, and they're changing all of the time. And I found that stories and being consistent with stories are still helping me keep afloat in that way with the algorithms, and also still helping me grow. Whereas just posting in my beauty group was not. So I opened an Instagram account when my son was born almost 5 years ago. I'd never really done it. I mean, I had a personal one. I didn't really do much with it. And I started exploring stories probably about 3 years ago. I've learned a lot as far as selling. And I want to share some do's and don'ts with you and some tricks on how you can sell and start selling now and start getting your foot in the door for future sales and planning for the next 60 days, because we know everything that we do for our business today affects you within 60 days. So I'm going to share those things with you. You're probably like, why are you on here and you're not even wearing a lip color? Well, I'm going to tell you why in just a second. I've got one ready to go. Okay. Have any of you ever watched my stories? Do any of you follow me? And if you do, just while we're going, I want you to know, first of all, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher at Heart. I taught high school for 17 years, as you saw in my bio. And I like to be interactive. This is how I do my stories too. So if you have questions or comments, please pop them in. And if I can't answer them right away, I'll go back. But do any of you watch my stories? And if so, what is something that you know about me from my stories? If you've met me in person, don't count that. What's something you know about me from my stories? Just pop it in while I get going, okay? Here's what I want to say. What is a story? If you're not really familiar with stories, you've watched them, you're not really sure, I want you to think about what is a story, okay? So if you go to your girlfriend's house and you are having coffee with her, or you're going out to drink, I'm a grammar queen, and you go out to eat or something, and you're telling her, like, oh gosh, girl, listen what happened the other day. You're telling her a story. It's going to have a beginning, middle, and end. That is what you're doing on stories, guys. You are telling a story from beginning to end, and that story may be 30 seconds, or it might be 5 minutes. It doesn't matter how the length of it is. You tell a story. You're telling a story about what you're doing that day. You're telling a story about what your kid did that day. You're telling a story about what your dog did that day. Whatever the story is, it is a story. So here's the thing. Am I just going to go over to my friend's house and go product, sell, 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 sell? Or am I going to converse with her, have a conversation with her? It's the second choice, right? I want you to consider that when you're getting in your stories, okay? So we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about some do's and don'ts, and I'm going to step on toes, and that's okay. I'm used to stepping on toes. It's no big deal, okay? I am going to talk about some do's and don'ts for stories, okay? And if you want to take notes, that's fine. If you want to listen to this and go back later and kind of do this, but I challenge you as you're looking at this, think about what you're doing in your stories. Is it working to bring you sales? If it's not, maybe consider there's another way that you could do it a little bit better. And let's see if we can do it. I have to change up my story methods all the time, okay? Here we go. So here's what you need to do. You need to show up daily. Now, I understand sometimes you get sick and get the flu and you're sick in bed. And sometimes you have things that are hard that happen in your life. I'm not saying you still have to get on there and put on a happy face of makeup. When I say show up daily, I want you to check in daily. I want you to check in daily with your audience. If you're sick in bed with the flu, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I've got the flu and I don't feel well today. I'm gonna share some funny memes. That's all I feel like doing. And then I'm going back to bed. And that's it. That's just kind of a reminder like, hey, I'm still here. If you're too sick to post, it's fine. Just pick right back up. Pick right back up where you were. I understand when I say show up daily, I don't mean, again, putting on a full face of makeup, but remind your audience that you're there. Do I get on all day, every day on my stories? Absolutely not. I do not. On Sundays, I spend the time with my family. I go to church and I'm not on stories. But you know what I will do? If I go to church and put on makeup, I'm going to take a picture of maybe the lip color I put on and post it. And that's it. Happy church day. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great day. Maybe that's it. Okay. Here's another thing I want you to do. Do a story, do it to your comfort level. Talk to your friends like you're talking to your friends. You are not talking at them and just trying to sell. My friend Tracy Zimmer, I love something she says. And, Tracy's kind of a big deal in this company. She kind of knows what she's talking about. She says, you're dating your customer. Okay, so on the first date, you're not going to ask them to marry you. Stories is a way to date your customer, to have a conversation with them, to let them get to know you. So if you get on and all you're doing is, hey guys, so I wanted to let you know that we're having a promo today and it's really great. It's this mascara. I'm wearing it right now. And if you get it, then you get a free liner. And I really like this liner. And here's some pictures I'll show you and make sure you buy from me. You just ask them to marry you. Now, I'm not saying you don't sell in the stories, but all they saw about your whole day is that you want them to buy something from you. You've got to date them, okay? Now this takes consistency and it's not gonna happen all at once. So if you think I'm just gonna hop on today and I'm gonna show what I'm doing today and then tomorrow I'm gonna ask them to buy that mascara promo, they might not buy it. You're going to have to take some consistency. This is a long-term game, guys. But if you're in this thinking that I'm just going to post and then sell and then it's all going to be over, we're in the wrong business here because sales is a relationship. That's what we're in, guys. We're in the business of relationships, and this is a way to build your relationships. Date your customer. Keep that in mind, okay? You are not boring. Do post things, even if you think that they're boring. You guys, I go to Trader Joe's every week. And a lot of times I talk about what I get at Trader Joe's that my kids like. People love it. I don't really know why. I think it's really boring. Or sometimes if I find a really great comfy tea at Sam's, I show them and y'all, they love it. They start the conversation and then they send me a picture like, hey, I found this at Trader Joe's because you said you liked it. We start a conversation about all the things that we love at Trader Joe's, right? We're not even talking about makeup. We're building that relationship. We're engaging with each other. We're dating. They're getting to know me, I'm getting to know them. Because if all they think I want to do is sell to them, that nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to hear that. You guys all know people in network marketing that are like that. You do, don't you? Come on, I know you do. You're thinking of someone right now. I've got someone in my mind. I can't even get on her stories. As soon as I see them, I swipe because all she's doing is trying to sell to me. It drives me nuts. So if you want people to watch your stories, you've got to be a real human and you've got to post things. Even if you think you're boring, I promise you you're not. Just post because someone will relate to it. Do talk to your like you're talking to your best friend. Talk to people like you're talking to your best friend. Guys, I'm talking to you as if I was sitting here having coffee. Sometimes that takes practice. Your first stories might not be very comfortable in doing this, but I want you to picture that you are sitting there having a conversation with a friend, not sitting there telling them product, sell. You need to have a conversation like you're talking to your best friend. You're creating that. And you also need to do, this is so important, problem solve. How many of you went to seminar and saw Bob Heilig? Right? He talked about service. He talked about being a service before sales. So what you're doing when you're getting on stories, when it's time to sell the makeup, and there is going to be a time to sell the makeup or the skincare or the hair care or whatever, is you've got to be a problem solver. If all you do is say, this is Glowify and this is Hydromat, these are my two favorite products and I think you should buy them, you're going to love them, they're great for stocking stuffers, and that's all you do, then you're not going to sell anything. Here's my link to here's my link, or let me know if you want me to order one for you or send you a link. They're not going to buy it. I tell my team this all the time, quit posting and ghosting, okay? Be a problem solver. So here's how I would sell this. Are you ready? This is me in a story. First of all, I'm gonna already have my makeup ready to go. I'm ready to go to my holiday party or whatever, my girls' night out, and I'm gonna get on and I'm gonna talk to them. Okay, guys, I have something I've gotta show you because this is fantastic. Do you guys are you like this? I don't know if about you, but I have an issue with like lip liner and it always looks really, really weird, but I really want fuller lips, but I'm too scared to get injections and it's super expensive. So I really want to get fuller lips and, I have an idea. I want to show you this idea. So just bear with me, okay? So the next slide, I'm going to go on and I'm going to show them, okay, get this soft brown eyeshadow or eyeliner. I love this one. It's really glowy and I'm just gonna like line my lips and lightly line them. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's really soft and it's not gonna be harsh, but look, like immediately my lips look so full. Like look how much fuller my lips look. But I don't look like that lady, what's her name, Goldie Hawn from when she got all those lip things done. Like I'm just kind of talking like I'm talking to my best friend or my sister or my mom, right? So I just took Glowify. I just showed her how to use this product. I didn't tell her, I showed her. I said, okay, and then here's what I'm gonna do. I want a little bit of lip color, but I don't want it to be too bold because, again, I don't wanna be that lady that walks in and her lips walk in before her face walks in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this, this is a long lasting lip color that I love. It's called Rich Ruby. And I'm just gonna take a little bit right here. I'm gonna dot it in. Okay, you guys, I'm just gonna confess to you, side note, I forgot my mirror, so I had no idea what this is looking like in my phone. I'm just gonna put a little bit more. And watch this, guys. You are not gonna believe it. Is that not gorgeous? And look, the thing is right here, you cannot see this liner. I didn't want to look like so 90s, but all of a sudden, look how plump my lips look. And it's not too bold, right? Do you guys like this color? This has been like my new favorite color that I found for the holidays because it's not too red, not too bold. So let me know. I'll be glad to tell you where I got it. Just let me know if you want some and just drop a comment right here or slide this bar and I'll send you the link. It's a great product. Okay, so I have just gotten on, told them, but I haven't been salesy. Do you see what I'm saying? Now that was totally off the cuff, whatever. There is another way that I love to sell a product. You're gonna show it to them. Again, be a problem solver and you don't always have to talk about it. You guys know what this is, right? What is this? It's the best thing we have that is a wow product that you can put on every single day while you're talking to your audience about what your dog ate and then threw up all over your carpet. I'm being facetious, but what I'm trying to tell you is every morning I put on Illuminator and I don't even talk about it, but I get on the screen and I do. So yesterday morning, I was talking about teacher gifts and I put on iLuminator. Sometimes, most times, I'm putting on music and something funny or some kind of survey that is interactive. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. So it is interactive. It's in my stories and I'm just showing them iLuminator. Do you guys know I sold 2 iLuminators this week just from my stories? And you know how I sold those iLuminators? Because someone commented and said, what is that thing that you're putting on your eyes? Or, hey, I've seen you put this on again. I think I really need to get some of that stuff. And so what I did then is I was able to get in Messenger, and then I was able to have a conversation about what iLuminator actually is. And then we have talked about it. Or maybe this is a customer who's seen me put it on for a while and just decided, you know, this is the time where I need it. And they wanted iLuminator. And so guess what I did? I filled up a cart and I said, you know, would you like anything else? We've got a mascara primer thing going on, and you get a free eyeliner if you want some magic mascara or need a refill on your mascara. And upsold. Same thing with the mascara. I've been putting on mascara. I've been talking about it. And then when someone said that they wanted it, I was able to get in the Messenger. And then she was asking me and asking her about, you know, is there anything else you're looking, you know, that you need for stocking stuffers? Or, you know, you're this far from free shipping. That's a really big seller, by the way. All that happens in Messenger. I don't care who you talk to that's in the top 10 of this company. They're going to tell you right now most of their sales come from Messenger. Yes, even when Katie gets on, when Jess gets on, when, you know, Ashley gets on, I guarantee you, I can tell you this for a fact because I've heard this come from their mouth, that most of their sales that you are not seeing, they are not just posting pics of products and just commenting and then all their sales. They are talking to their customers. They're dating their customers. They're building those relationships in Messenger from their stories. So the stories are where you start. The stories are where you're having the conversation, where you're dating your customer. You start the conversation. It's like the first date. The second and third and fourth and who knows how much is going to start happening in Messenger. When you have those interactive posts, when you people are asking you about what you're putting on your face, all the things that are happening in Messenger are how you're funneling them in. You're not posting and ghosting. If you think posting and ghosting is going to work, it's not going to work. You've got to get in with that relationship. So those are my do's, and I'm going to recap. I know I'm kind of a squirrel and all over the place. I'm trying to keep it short. All right, so I try to mention or show a Synergent something once a day. It doesn't always happen depending on my day, but I try to do that every single day. If I know that I'm going to be selling in stories that day or something's coming up, I'm going to make it interactive at the front of the day, especially if I have a survey or something where people can slide a bar. That helps boost my posts or boost my views and all of that. So I'm going to try to mix all of that in, especially if I know I'm going to sell. Keeping in mind also, when you're trying to serve over the selling, service over selling, right? Then you are also solving those problems. A couple of my friends and I have been getting together to create content called Leveling Up Your Holidays. And it's going to be like doing something quick and easy to level up your eyeliner look, using eyeliner to level up your look, your lips, your shadow, your hair, but not just using Synergent's products. We're also going to be talking about things like, cute mocktails or cocktails, wrapping presents, stuff like that, and sprinkling all that in. So make sure that you're keeping in mind you're serving over selling. Okay, problem solving. Okay, so here's some quick don'ts, and then I'm going to hop off because I've talked too long already. All right, don't post long stories without highlights or captions. If you get on there and talk for a minute, how many of you watch products or watch stories while you're in bed while your significant other is sleeping? Anybody do that? Because I do all the time. If I can't sleep and my husband is next to me snoozing, I'm watching stories. And if there are no captions, I have no idea what they're saying, swipe. So if you don't at least put highlights of what you're saying and you're just getting on and talking about something, swipe. You're not going to get views. If you're only posting pictures and not getting on there and talking to them, okay, also swipe, okay? So keep in mind, you need to be posting your captions. If you don't know how to do that, YouTube, you can learn a lot from YouTube. Or just message me and I'll show you, okay? Or your upline or whoever. Don't just post a bunch of pictures. I have some members on my team I've had to have hard conversations with and say to them, you're not selling in stories and you're not growing your views and you're not growing your Instagram because all you do is post pictures of sales. That's it. If that's all you're doing, people are not paying attention. They're swiping, and the algorithms are saying, people don't want to see this, so I'm not going to show them anymore. quit just posting pictures. Quit just posting pictures of your makeup without telling them what you're doing, and that's all you do. Okay, stories, if you truly want to grow, you may have to step out of your comfort zone, and stories are the way to do it. Don't make your stories private. Now, I'm going to say this. I was a high school teacher. I had to be very careful about what was on public on the internet. I'm also very careful about what I put of my children. I never post like their schools. I don't ever post my address. Like, there are a lot of creeps out there. But if you want to grow and gain new customers and get out there, and there may be some creeps that view your stories, just block them. It's no big deal. You might have to go through and block several. It's okay. I do that all the time. It's fine. You know, I want people who want to follow me. I don't care about numbers. But link those to your personal Facebook stories. It's amazing how when I started doing that, people who had followed me for years, even on Facebook and knew what I did, or even in my beauty group, had never bought a thing, somehow that legitimized my business to them. Like, oh, she's serious. I don't know what it was. And people started buying things from me who had not bought things for 4 years, but they'd been watching, and I was consistent, and I continued to show up. And then when I linked it in my stories over to my Facebook and I made my Instagram stories public, for some reason, it just legitimized, okay? I could do a whole other thing about reels and funneling, but that's for another day if they ever ask me back. Do not only here's another don't only get on when you have a promo. Like, show up even if there's not a promo. If all you're doing is getting on when there's promos, people are gonna, oh, there's Emily. She just wants to sell me a promo. No, I wanna get up because I'm continuing to date. I'm trying not to be crude in the way I say this, but if you have a significant other that only shows you attention when they want something from you, you know what I mean? And that's the only time they show you attention, it's not a good relationship, is it? You're not going to trust them very much, right? You know what I mean? So why would anybody buy from me if I'm only showing up just to sell to them? I'm investing in a relationship. Keep that in mind. Consistency and patience. Don't spend more than 1 or 2 minutes on a get ready with me. We're not living in COVID times where everybody has all the time in the world to watch you get ready for 25 minutes. Focus on one area. So if you're doing eyes that day, get your base face on, do your eyes. If you're talking about your lips, get your base face, everything else ready, do your lips last. Whatever it is, if you're doing tinted moisturizer, do the tinted moisturizer and then, show them how you apply it and then do the rest of your face and then get back on and show them the final result. No one's gonna sit there and watch you get ready for 25 minutes anymore. I don't have time. Sorry, if you're doing that now, you can fix it, it's no big deal. That's why I don't do full face live tutorials anymore in my beauty group, because no one's going to sit there and watch me and my views are going to drop. I just do especially what is going on. Yes, and the people that buy in stories are different from the Facebook group. I agree with Jennifer in that. I think that stories hit a different audience, and people don't always see what's going on in my beauty group, but they see my stories. Like, if I don't talk about things that are going on in my beauty group in stories occasionally, there are people who've been in my beauty group for 5 years who will never see it. Okay. Again, we can talk about Messenger another day. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Batch your content. I did my business for 4 years as a teacher full-time with 2 kids. I got pregnant not long after I started my business. So I had, 1 kid, 1 on the way, teaching full-time, grading essays for 20 hours on the weekend. That's another story for another day. And I had to batch content. And I had to do the power hours. And sometimes that meant I would turn on the screen, turn on my camera as I'm getting ready in the morning and film myself getting ready at 5:45 a.m. And then later speed it up, do a voiceover, or edit it in an app. There's great apps. InShot is a free app. And iMovie is an app if you're an Apple user. There are great apps for video editing and voiceovers. I do it all the time. And what's great about that is I can show that in stories. I can also post it as a reel, and I can save it as a YouTube link to send as a tutorial or to bring it back up another time. So I did this I'm sorry, I feel like I'm going on forever, but I have so much to say about this. A couple weeks ago, I did something with Pearlizer, and this is not the first time I'd shown Pearlizer and how I use it with my tinted moisturizer to give my little glow look going on, and how I use it it with Creamy Cosmetics. Well, guess what was on sale last week? You all know it was Pearlizer and Sand Gloss in that bundle. So guess which bundles I sold the most, because I pulled out back that old content I had already done. So there are ways you can reuse your content. That's another reason I love stories. You can save them and then you can put them, post them again, make them evergreen. And then here's the last one. This is really the most important thing. And this is not my original phrase, but I know Morgan Zambrano says this a lot, and I agree with her on this. Don't forget to be a real human on the internet. If I only get on the internet, if I only get on my stories when I have a full face of makeup, it's going to be like once a week. Because usually when I get a full face of makeup on, it's because I went to my husband's holiday party last night, and I'm not all over my stories because that was about him and his holiday party and his people, and that would not have been appropriate. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm waiting until, I look perfect and everything's perfect. I mean, guys, my house is, I had to clear this off so that you wouldn't see all the junk that was on there, but most of the time I don't. I mean, my house is a mess half the time. I've got kids, we live in it. And if I waited until my house was completely clean to do anything, it's kind of the same thing, right? So you need to just get on and be a human. If you're having a bad day, if something is going on in your life, it is okay to share that. Now, I'm not saying you have to share every detail of your life, but if things are hard, that's gonna make you more relatable. So I had a little bit of a crisis this morning with something with my angel tree bags, and guess what? I shared it with my stories because my people are invested in the story of angel trees. This is the middle of the story. The end is going to be when we drop them off tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? All right, I'm sorry. I feel like I have gone on way too long, but just remember a few things. The sales happen off screen. If you're posting and ghosting, you're not going to sell in stories. Remember to tell a story, beginning, middle, and end. Be a real human on stories, and don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overthink it. Just turn the camera on. You'll get better and better as you go. If you would like to follow me on Instagram and see what my stories are all about, they're not perfect, but they work, and they're working for me now. And as the market continues to change, and as the internet continues to change, and as customers and the spending trends continue to change, I'll continue to work to evolve. And I hope you will too. I have a challenge for you. Well, first of all, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's at Keep Calm Lippies. At Keep Calm Lippies. Follow me on Instagram. I would love to have you follow. If you want to just kind of see what my stories are about, you're welcome to. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comments and I'll be happy to go back and answer. But I have some homework for you. What I'd like you to do is I want you to pick one wow product, something that you use on your face multiple times a week, if not every day. For me, it's Illuminator. Okay. If you put lip scents on every day, that's great. I don't. But if you do, that's great. Use that one. If it's your mascara, if it's whatever, I want you to pick a wow product. And I want you to get in your stories. If you can't do it every day, and I can't always do it every day, but get in your stories and apply that, and do not talk about it so much. Maybe talk about it once. Tell them what you're doing. But I just want you to get on there and talk about something else besides what you're putting on your face, and give them a little bit of a wow, okay? And see what happens. Now, are you gonna sell 15 Illuminators just from putting it on and not talking about it? No, but I bet if you do it 3 to 4 times a week for a month, I can guarantee someone's gonna start asking you about it. Maybe multiple someone's are gonna ask you about it. And it's gonna lead to other conversations. Sometimes I get people to say, I really need some help with makeup, because they've seen this Illuminator. They don't necessarily want this product. Or maybe they want some help with skincare because they have seen, again, the consistency is paying off. Everything you do today is gonna affect your business 60 days from today. So just remember that. Happy holidays to you all. Thank you for letting me be here. If you've stuck it out for the last 29 minutes, I salute you. I'm sorry I talked so much. That was way too much information, but I just have a lot to say about stories because, guys, stories are the future. And if you want to grow your business online, you need to get in your stories. Many blessings to you guys. Bye.